Admiral Zethric's 6 eyes widened in disbelief as the holographic display materialized before the High Council of the Dominion. The azure-skinned Kethmori had ruled 17 star systems for over 3 millennia, their empire built on the principle of systematic expansion and the subjugation of what they considered lesser species. Never in their recorded history had they encountered a force that could challenge their technological supremacy. "Impossible," hissed Councillor Vexhai, her serpentine neck craning toward the tactical readout. "These readings must be corrupted. No species from the Outer Rim possesses such capabilities." The data streams painted a terrifying picture. 67 vessels of unknown configuration had materialized at the edge of the Kethmori home system, their sudden appearance defying every known law of faster-than-light travel. The Empire's quantum sensors, capable of detecting gravitational disturbances from parsecs away, had registered nothing until the fleet simply existed where empty space had been moments before. "The energy signatures are unlike anything in our databases," reported Chief Scientist Moore Dunn, his tentacles dancing across the crystalline interface. "Their propulsion systems appear to manipulate space-time itself, creating localized distortions that our physics cannot adequately explain. The power output readings suggest fusion reactors operating at theoretical maximum efficiency, something our engineers deemed impossible." Admiral Zethric studied the alien vessels through the long-range scanners. They were surprisingly small compared to Dominion dreadnoughts, yet the sensor readings indicated armor plating composed of materials that shouldn't exist. The hull signatures suggested a carbon-based composite reinforced with exotic matter, creating a defensive capability that rendered traditional plasma weaponry virtually useless. "Have they responded to our standard challenge protocols?" Zethric asked, though he already knew the answer from the communications officer's expression. "Negative, Admiral. However, we have intercepted what appears to be an internal communication." The officer's voice trembled slightly. The translation matrix managed to decode fragments. They refer to themselves as humans, and they claim we destroyed something called Earth during our expansion into Sector 7741. A collective silence fell over the council chamber. Sector 7741 had been sterilized 47 standard years ago during a routine cleansing operation. The Dominion's policy was clear. Any system containing primitive life forms was to be prepared for colonization through atmospheric bombardment. It was a standard procedure applied to hundreds of worlds across their territory. "They cannot possibly be survivors," Councillor Vexhai stated flatly. "Our sterilization protocols are absolute. No organic life could have survived the plasma bombardment." Mordunn's tentacles continued their frantic manipulation of the data streams. "Admiral, I'm detecting energy buildups within their fleet. The power signatures are astronomical. Whatever weapons systems they possess, they're preparing to activate them." Through the viewport, Zethric could see the distant points of light that represented the human fleet. They maintained perfect formation, 67 ships arranged in a three-dimensional matrix that spoke of tactical sophistication. The Dominion had faced rebellion before, had crushed a dozen uprisings by species who refused to accept their place in the Galactic Order. But those conflicts had been against civilizations that fought with crude projectile weapons and chemical propulsion. "Activate the defense grid," Zethric commanded. "Raise planetary shields and deploy the home fleet. All vessels are to maintain maximum dispersal pattern." The response was immediate. 300 Dominion warships, each one a kilometer-long monument to Imperial engineering, moved into defensive positions around their homeworld. Energy shields shimmered into existence, creating a barrier that had never been breached in 2,000 years of warfare. The humans made no move to close distance. Instead, something unprecedented happened. Space itself began to twist. Gravitational anomalies detected. Mordun shouted over the rising alarm klaxons. They're creating artificial singularities, multiple micro-black holes throughout our defensive perimeter. The tactical display exploded into chaos as the Dominion fleet found itself trapped within a maze of gravitational wells. Ships that attempted to maneuver found their hulls stressed beyond tolerance as they encountered tidal forces that threatened to tear them apart. The carefully maintained formation collapsed as vessels were dragged off course by irresistible gravitational currents. "Impossible," Zethric whispered. "The energy requirements alone." "Admiral, incoming transmission," the communications officer announced. "It's from the human fleet." The holographic display shifted, revealing a face that sent ripples of shock through the assembled council. The being appeared almost exactly like a Kethmori, but with only 2 eyes and skin that was pale pink rather than azure. When it spoke, the translation matrix rendered its words in perfect High Dominion dialect. "I am Admiral Chen Martinez of the United Earth Exodus Fleet. 47 years ago, you murdered 11 billion of my people. You sterilized our homeworld because you deemed us primitive. You were wrong." The human's expression remained eerily calm as it continued. "We survived in generation ships, hidden in the dark spaces between stars. We learned. We adapted. We built. And now we have returned to show you exactly how primitive we are not." Behind Admiral Martinez, Zethric could see other humans working at control stations filled with technology that made Dominion science look like primitive toolmaking. The gravitational manipulation they were witnessing was apparently just the beginning. "Your species operates under the assumption that technological advancement follows a linear path," Martinez continued. "You never considered that a species facing extinction might take a different approach entirely. We didn't waste time conquering other worlds. We focused everything on becoming something you could never expect." The micro-black holes began to move, herding the Dominion fleet like sheep, while simultaneously stripping away their shield generators through precise gravitational shearing. Ships that had ruled star systems found themselves helpless, their weapons useless against an enemy that could manipulate the fundamental forces of reality. "We offer you the same choice you gave us," Martinez said. "Surrender and be relocated to a world where you can contemplate your crimes. Resist and join the 11 billion souls you murdered." Admiral Zethric looked around the council chamber at faces that mirrored his own shock and growing terror. The Kethmori had built their empire on the belief that superior technology guaranteed victory. They had never considered what would happen when they encountered a species that didn't just advance but transcended. As the first Dominion dreadnought began to buckle under gravitational stress, Zethric realized that the age of the Galactic Empire had come to an end.